So I'm gonna hit some tritone substitution, real simple 2-5-1. We'll keep it in D to keep it easy. So what a tritone substitution means on a 2-5 is say you have a normal D minor 7 on a 2-5 and C. When you go to G, it's the 5 chord. If you go up a tritone from a G, it's going to be a flat 5, which is a D flat. So you're going to play a D flat 7 chord. So here's your D minor 7. So that's your new dominant chord. Into your C major 7, this is a C6-9 chord. It's like E, A, D, G at the top here, with a C in the bass. Could also be a C major 7, so. So the way to remember that on a 2-5 is essentially it's going chromatically now down in the movement. So you can play D flat 7 scales on top of a 5 chord because you're going to go to the 1. If I play a real simple melody like this, D minor 7, right? That's just a D flat dominant 7 without the root. So up again. Then up on the C. So I'll play off the root a little bit so you can hear it. So here's D minor 7. Into your root here. Played a 5th, which is a G, on top of the root of a C major 7. So D minor 7. Just playing right up off that D flat 7 chord. So if you play, say the piano player or the other guitar player is just playing a 2-5 like this, and your lines are going, kind of playing more of in a Joe Pass kind of way off of 8th notes, but to let you hear the changes. So when you're making a tape for yourself, that's one measure of that, one measure of this, which is the D flat 7, dominant 7, to your C major. This could be a C major 6-9, C major 7, C major 6 chord. Certain chords I like to play more than others, but now you could also play a D minor 7 like this, a G7 13 with a flat 13 on the top. You're just moving that note down a half step. I learned a lot of these kind of melody chord note things from Joe Pass. He taught a lot of that kind of thing. So when you're playing jazz lines, I think it's a really good idea to try to play play straight through the changes as much as you can. You can play them really slow, like. Whatever you gotta do to make the change happen. So you play two measures of C at the end. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then you can also play the regular change of this G7 with an altered here at the top. And kind of stay in one position or two positions long enough until you can play enough ideas before you go all over the place. So super inside to make these changes happen, but I'm trying to get you to hear this tritone substitution. I don't think of these things anymore. I just listen as much as I can and see where my lines are going and how I want my chords to go. But that's what's going on, is flat 5 from the root of the G7. So it means that, like, let's say you have go up a whole step, E minor 7 to A7 to D, so it would be like a 2-5, like. So it's going chromatic again, same. That's E flat dominant 7 on top of your A here. So same kind of idea, you work your ideas. Kind of deal. So F minor 7 to B flat to E flat is now F minor 7 down a half step, because here's your it's like an E dominant 7th chord on top of your B flat. There's your tritone to E flat. Chromatic on that. So when you're working on lines, one thing you can do is, if you have to extend longer, because it's just you working on this stuff, so F minor 7, out for a minute and try to hear where the line's going. That's a little more modern 10-dot Lydian on the last chord, which is just E flat major 7 flat 5. So that sounds like but for now. So G minor 7 to C to F sounds now. You hear Kenny Burrell doing that kind of thing all the time, and Joe Pass. I mean, a lot of jazz guys, but definitely, especially on this type of guitar. G minor 7. If you want to hang out, you know, this is a G flat dominant 7 on top of C, or an F sharp dominant 7th on top of C, however you want to look at it. Because here's your regular chord. So a really good idea is to play the chord try to stay in one area when you're working ideas. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was really young trying to learn changes is I would kind of be comfortable here and then have to shift to different places, and there's no lead of the melodic line, and there's no voice leading with the chords either when you're hopping around. So you got your G minor 7 here, so if you're going to be up here on G minor 7, whatever you want to do. So 2/5s are very melodic. They've been around a long time. They don't. It's not just from the jazz period. There's Bach stuff that did 2/5s. It's been around a long time. It's a really pretty cycle, and you can do all kinds of things with it. So anyway, there's tritone substitutions. The next one to learn to go to, which we can do another time, is if you got A minor 7 to D7 to G, and let's say you're going like this, like here's your normal 2/5, A minor 7, D7, G major 7. So now it's going to go A to A flat. So now it's going to go, if you play it here, A minor 7, D dominant 7, G major 7. Now it's going to go A minor 7, A flat to G. It says your root motion is going chromatically, like it did here. So here's A minor 7. Now here's your regular D dominant 7. a flat 5 from D dominant 7th is A flat. So now it's here. So A minor 7. So A minor 7. A minor 7. A little different ideas here. Here's your D7 chord normally. Now it's going to be A flat. Because when you think of when we were going from before, here's your D minor 7 to your G to your C. Here's your D minor 7 to your D flat to your C. If you do it way up here, here's D minor 7, here's G, here's C. So now it's going to go D minor 7, D flat 7 to C. So now down here, A minor 7, D to G, regular 2/5. Now it's a chromatic bass motion, just as before. It's just different octave. Phone's running out of juice here. So take a D dominant 7th chord, and now you're going to play A flat dominant 7th chord. So either you want to look at it as a flat 5th down or a flat 5th up. It's the same thing. It's still going to be an A flat. You can hear when you arpeggiate these enough and play lines through these enough, you start to hear jazz melodies, how some of these jazz melodies might have originally come up when people wrote these tunes, because of how they're based off of guide tones. So A minor 7, then there's D dominant 7th, and then there's your root on G. So now A minor 7 to tritone substitution is A flat dominant 7. One cool thing to hear too is just like a D7 with a sharp 9 like this, and play A flat dominant 7th on top of that for like a scale. Kind of almost interchangeable when you playing back and forth like that. But anyway, that's tritone substitution and some lines to try. Thanks for watching. I gotta charge the phone.